Hello, hello. I've got an extra light on my desk tonight and it's like blinding me. I got to figure out how this is going to work, but I am hopeful that when I flip over to my desk, it's going to be way better. In the meantime, I need my sunglasses. So, it's Monday, which means it's time for another Make It Monday Live. I am seeing some people watching. Hey, Robin. Okay, I always like seeing some hellos. That way I know everything is going great. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. We always got to check in on technology because you never know these days. Hey, Vicki, welcome. Oh my goodness, you guys. I had quite the weekend. Let me tell you, I'm going to have to tell you all about it as I'm stamping tonight. But let me just say that yesterday was one of the longest days I've had in a while. And I'll tell you about it. We ended up on the side of the road with a broken down truck on our way home from up north, and that was really something. Hey, Luann. Hey, Ramona. So I am happy to be home. Hey, Betty and Carol. I'm happy to be home and spent the day catching up on some things and relaxing a little bit and trying to get laundry done before I head back into work tomorrow and all the things. So here I am stamping with all of you. I see a lot of people sharing, so thank you very much. Just a reminder that I give away prizes in my live, and I'll do that in just a minute. Um, and so for those of you popping on, you get a chance, you're entered into a chance to win a prize two ways. One is by viewing my video, but the caveat is the only way that I know that you viewed my video is if you say something. So you can say something super easy like, hey, first time viewer here from wherever. Or hey, nice to see you, just watching you from wherever. Because I go through all those comments, and those comments are how I know who viewed me. So I love to connect with each of you. I don't want to just talk to myself the whole night, so the comments are helpful with that as well. And then the second way you're entered to win a prize is by sharing my video. So on the bottom of this video is going to be a share. Whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, I'm live in both places. Just hit that share button and share with your friends on your social media wall or in the messenger or something like that, because I want more people to get to be creative, and that really also helps to support my small business. So I appreciate your support when you share with me. Okay, so for those who are new to my page, welcome. Those who are returning, welcome back. For those who don't know me, my name is Rose Grunwald. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, which is just a fancy way of saying I'm your creative coach. Stamping has really helped me to find balance in my life, and I'm super passionate about helping others be creative. And I know that we get a lot of creative blocks, and so I am here to help you. I like simple, stunning projects. You can easily create whatever it is I make at home, and I try to mix it up so that you have a variety of products and techniques and things along those lines. So thank you so much for everyone who is sharing and commenting. I am live, just a reminder, every Monday at 7 Central Time on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching in either place, please make sure you like and follow my Facebook page and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got like over 125 videos there, and then you have all my videos in one handy place. All right, move my notes. We should do prizes. What do you think? Right? Prizes? Okay, let me flip this around. I've got more light tonight, you guys. Hopefully that will help. All right, so I've got a brand new unopened ink pad here, Balmy Blue. This is a color I don't use a lot, and so I am thinking it may be a color that someone needs to add to their collection. If you already have this stamp pad and you win my prize, either prizes, if you already have it and you win, All I ask is that you pay it forward to somebody who is creative or looking to be creative too. So, Balmy Blue Stamp Pad, this is for viewing my video, and again, the comments. Our winner of that is Lisa Parsons. So congratulations, Lisa. This is your prize. On my website, which is listed up here, www.rosegrunwald.com, there is a prize claim form you can see on my top menu. If you fill that out, I will get this prize in the mail to you. And then for sharing, I have got this exclusive celebration set from the celebration, I think it was last spring. You cannot get this stamp set anymore, so it is like a unicorn. And it was a big one. It was free with like $100 order, I think. And it's a 2-step stamp. Gorgeous. Probably my favorite when we had that celebration. This has never been used. It has never been opened. And this prize is for sharing my video. And the winner of this prize, my drawing winner, is Angela Blanchette. So congratulations, Angela. If you could fill out my prize claim form, I will get that in the mail to you. All right. Tonight, we're playing with new product. So just a couple things going on. Tomorrow, our new catalog and celebration goes live. I can't open these up and show you them yet, but I can starting tomorrow. But like, listen, if we look at the cover, we can get a sneak peek of all the pretty stuff happening. Basically, when you order, and here's the back side, when you order at least $50, you get to choose from a bunch of free stuff. And then the new catalog is live tomorrow. Looks like there's some pretty flowers and stuff going on here. And so tonight, I'm using a stamp set that is new. Just putting these catalogs back here. New in the new catalog, and it is called Wildlife Wonder. I don't know if you've had a chance to see this stamp set yet, but it caught my eye right away. Like right away. This stamp set is right up my alley. So it is a cling stamp set because it's one of those distinctive stamp sets. Now, what the heck does that mean? Okay, distinctive stamp set means that these images, the rubber is so detailed that it looks like shading. So you see how this bear looks like it's shaded? That is naturally occurring on the stamp. So this has 10 images in it. We've got a couple three animal images here. We've got some like flowers here. We got this splotch that could be used for a whole bunch of different things. And then we have some really great sentiments, which of course have the mixed fonts. You know that those are close to my heart. For all the great things you do, a note of thanks. You mean so much to me. Sending birthday wishes, and to a great guy. Now, what's cool about this stamp set is I hear a lot from my customers and my other stamping friends that they really struggle with man cards. And so when I saw this To a Great Guy, I thought this would be a good stamp set to give some inspiration for those man cards. But I personally love this stamp set. I am a nature lover, and so that's what we are using tonight. Now, I am featuring this in my budget club. So tonight's the night that I show you all my budget club projects. Okay, now we're pairing this stamp set tonight with some paper that you might be a little bit surprised by. I know, right? All of this ballpark stuff, what's going on here? This is new paper. It's called Hey Sports Fans. It's 12 by 12. And it coordinates with Bumblebee, Evening Evergreen, Night of Navy, and Poppy Parade. So you've got these really fun play ball, kind of baseball, or it could be softball as well, images. We've got fun pennants, and this is part of a suite that coordinates with some fun dies. This pattern is the pattern that let me know this was going to work for this stamp set. Okay. I can't wait till you see what I have in store. Here's some fun baseball bats and baseballs. And then, of course, a baseball or softball diamond. But here's where we really get into some of the patterns we're going to use on tonight's cards. We've got this really pretty pinstripe pattern. So we've got the baseballs here on one side. We've got these fun yellow stars. This pattern works great. And we've got this starburst here, which I think is awesome, or sunburst. Now this could be baseball stitching, but it would work really, really great with these cards as well. And then, of course, we've got some Poppy Parade striping, more striping, and then some wood grain in Night of Navy. So for the most part, we're going to be using these patterns for our projects, and we're going to mix in this one as well. They work great, trust me. I've been using this a ton. You can see I have been cutting this up and just, there's a lot of DSP in our cards. Now, it's also coordinating with the new Fan Baker's Twine. This is a 3-pack. And you'll get a half a roll of each of these colors in my budget club. You'll also in the budget club get a half a pack of this paper. I cut it down to 6 by 12 so that if you want to make tall projects with it, you can. So here you've got like a striped, this is awesome, Poppy Parade and white. We've got Evening Evergreen and Night of Navy. So you would get a half a roll, that's about, it'll be about 5 yards each of those in the budget club. And I'm pairing it with these holiday rhinestones. Look at how perfect those colors are going to match our paper. You'll get a half a pack of this in my budget club as well. Okay, now we're going to start with our first card. You ready for this? I always love new product in action, right? It's like the best time when we get to be refreshed with new products. Now, I'm not going to give you all of the dimensions for tonight's. I'm missing a piece of Designer Series paper here. Well, what the heck happened to it? Hang on a minute. Yes, there it is. Oh, I never took it out. I'm not giving any dimensions tonight because those are exclusive to my budget club members tutorials. But if you are someone who crafts a lot, you probably can figure them out, or just make your own dimensions and use my layout as inspiration. Now, this budget club is like a mini product share, so now is the perfect time to get in on it because you'll get a bunch of stuff from the new catalog. All right, we've got an Evening Evergreen card base, and then we've got a strip here of this fun pattern. The one that just inspired me right away to use with this card base, or these images. Now I am going to use my glue. I like Stampin' Seal. You can use whatever glue you prefer. And I am going to glue this down. This is not the right size either. Well, this will work. We're going to use this. This is not the size I was thinking of, but it will work just fine. I don't know what happened to the piece I cut. So weird. Okay, so we've got a strip of this Designer Series paper down. And then I have got a piece of Sahara Sand. So that's the color I'm using there. And we're going to use our bear image. Now we have to use this big E block for the bear to fit on here. Right. And just a heads up, I noticed I have to pay attention to make sure that all parts of my bear, sometimes you have to do that with the distinctive stamps. I always like to flip it over and make sure that those images are nice and inked up. I'm just going to get a little extra padding here. So I'm using Early Espresso ink. So you see how I got to look because I didn't do very good on the middle of him. And with these larger stamps, just a little tip, you can also turn over your ink pad and ink them up, which is a bit easier to do than holding that heavy block. Now let me get, I need to get a baby wipe here because I've got a little halo. Whoops, dropped them. I got a little halo around the bear's head, so I'm just going to quick go in here and gently clean that off so that it does not get on my project. Okay. And we are going to stamp this right in the center of our Sahara sand layer, just like this. Okay, let me close this so I don't drop anything on it. Isn't that gorgeous? Super, super pretty. It brings in the shading. Now we're going to bring in this kind of smudgy, whatever it is, and we're going to turn this into ground below our bear. So he's not just kind of floating through air. And what I'm going to do is stamp off one time to lighten that up a bit. And then I'm just going to come in and stamp it below him, below his feet. Hey, Darcy. Just like this. It's light and subtle. It's a little easier to see in person. It's subtle, but it's there. How's my new lighting for my projects tonight? There's a little more shadowing, I think, but I hope it's brighter. I noticed that it was really, really dark the other night, I think last week when I was stamping. Okay, now you can bring in whatever color you want here. We're going to take some baker's twine. And get my paper snips out here. And we're going to just wrap this around. Let me move this. We're going to wrap this around the stamped layer and tie it in a bow. Thanks, Jean. Oh, Darcy says not sure about this set. Hey, good. I'm glad that you're going to get a chance to take a look at it. Like I was saying, I knew right away that this was right up my alley when I saw it, but I totally know that it may not be everyone's cup of tea. But if you've got an outdoors or nature lover, I think they're going to love this. And we're pairing it with some fun patterns. Okay, so I'm just tying this in a bow. I'm holding down that loop so that it doesn't twist when I tighten it up. Okay. And then I'm just going to trim the ends of that. I need to sharpen my scissors. They're getting a little dull. Hey, Judy. This is on Judy's wish list. I saw someone else say it's on their wish list. Who else has this one on their wish list? Now, I know that a lot of times when we see these nature cards, we think about waiting for Father's Day. But personally, my husband would prefer to get a card like this for Valentine's Day. So I don't want you to overlook the possibility of using this if your Valentine is a nature lover, man or woman. Don't overlook using this as a Valentine's card. Okay, so we're going to just bring this in here on our card front, just like this. All right. Oh, I see a lot of people on the wish list. Awesome. Okay, now I have got a circle. Now you could die cut this from the layering circle punches or dies, or if you have a circle punch, you could cut it out. This is a 1 1/4 inch in diameter circle. And I'm going to grab the sentiment here that says a note of thanks. And I'm going to bring in the navy from this ribbon. Diana S., is that Mossy Meadow or Night of Navy? I used the Night of Navy twine, but you could, this is actually Evening Evergreen, Diana. You could use that as well. I wanted to bring in a couple more colors. And I actually skipped the red because I was afraid it would look like Christmas. And I was kind of over Christmas when I made these. But I chose the Night of Navy. And then I wanted to bring in a kind of a bright pop of color for our sentiment to really shine here. So I'm going to grab my sentiment that says a note of thanks, and then we're going to grab this little, I don't exactly know what this is. It looks like some sort of wildflower. And I'm not done with this. Let's grab this because we're going to need to stamp off again. Yes, Evening Evergreen, absolutely. Okay, and I'm just going to go here in my Sahara Sand. I'm going to stamp off once, and I'm just going to bring this in very subtly, but it adds just enough to, let's see if we can see this closer up, to our sentiment. Do you see how you kind of have that wildflower in the background? Just like that. Okay. I better close this. I'm really afraid I'm going to drop something on it. All right, and now we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. One little tip, when I have twine like that, I try to put the dimensionals above or below it instead of over the top of it, so that it's not in a weird, it doesn't make it kind of awkward. Karen and Paula are joining late. Better late than never. Thanks for joining, ladies. We're only one card in, so you haven't missed very much. We're just going to pop that on our front here. And, okay, now we want to do the inside too. So here it says a note of thanks, and then I want to bring in this. I felt like it was kind of the second part of the sentiment for all the great things you do. I'm going to grab this and grab my Evening Evergreen here. And this is another piece of Sahara Sand. Sahara Sand is one of the coordinating cardstocks that you will get in your Budget Club pack. So you'll get Evening Evergreen, Sahara Sand, and Night of Navy. Now, some of our inside layers, we're going to use Basic White, and you can provide those, or you can use the Sahara Sand that comes in your kit. All right, now I've got 2 strips here to bring in some of the fun patterns from the outside of our card. And I'm just going to line these up right along the top and bottom of this layer. Like this. Okay. And then we're bringing those patterns into the inside of our card. Oops. Just snip off any excess. And then we will glue this to the inside. I'm going to center this right on the inside. I love, love, love these high quality adhesives from Stampin' Up! I know that it's going to arrive in one place. Okay, we're almost done. We got to bring in a little bling, right? So I'm going to do the green. I think that'll be fun. So we'll do some here, some here, and then we'll do one. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so there's our first card. What do you think? Do you like it? Now, when I said that I made this DSP strip too narrow, here's the actual, my design card. So the PDF you have will actually be the measurements for this. But as you can see, you can cut it narrower and it still works really, really great. So our first project is done. What do you think of that one? Adorable bear, huh? Okay. I'm going to clean up my stamps here so we can get ready for card number 2. All right. Put these back quick. It's a pretty simple card, but you know me, I like my simple cards. I'm not one for a card to take me all day to make. That's just not my cup of tea. Okay, so there's our first card. Let's move on to card number 2. While I'm getting that out, tell me, here's my question I like to ask every week. What Stampin' Up! Colors are you wearing tonight? What Stampin' Up! Colors are you wearing tonight? Okay, I'm actually going to do something a little bit different with this sentiment, so I'm going to swap this out. Let me know what Stampin' Up! Colors you are wearing tonight. All right. Okay, so for this card, I used a couple of scraps of the Stars pattern, Designer Series paper. We're going to use those on the inside. Real red. Night of Navy. Carol, you are matching the card we're making right now. Night of Navy. Frisia. Terry, you too. Robin's got basic black and balmy blue. Ooh, those colors are good together. Okay, I'm going to have to do that color combo. Night of Navy and balmy blue. Yes, those are good ones too. All right, our card base is Night of Navy, and we've got 3 strips here of Designer Series paper. I'm going to grab my silicone craft sheet. I love to glue on this silicone craft sheet. I don't know if you can see this, but there is some glue that was stuck on there. It just peels off. So it really saves my surface when I use it. I actually don't want these to be matchy, so I'm going to move them around. Okay. Now we're going to glue these down to our card front. Okay. And these do not need to be straight, perfectly straight or anything like that. They don't need to be perfectly centered. They don't need to be a perfect distance apart from each other. In fact, if we make them a little bit kind of angled, just a touch, I think it adds to this card. So we're just going to glue those strips right onto our card front. One of the grays, Blackberry Bliss. Oh, gray and Blackberry Bliss is a good one together. I always get inspired for color combinations from you all when I ask you that question. Okay, so we have got these glued down. That's literally how simple it is. Now I thought it'd be cool because I've got stripes here to do a little bit of a patriotic double duty with our baker's twine here. So what I'm doing is grabbing 2 strands, our Night of Navy and our Poppy Parade and white together. Okay, and we are going to do a double bow here with these. Okay, now I'm going to do this. It doesn't have to be quite in the center, just a bit off from center maybe. Like so. Okay, and I am going to just tie these in a bow, but you know when I'm using my thin threads like baker's twine or what's the other one that's really thin? Oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of it. Linen thread. When I do those, I like to tie it in a knot first so that it kind of stays in place. Okay, and so we have tied this in a bow, just like that, around our card base. Now the cool thing about this, when we open it, we're going to see that thread and bring that texture to the inside of our card too, which I like. Now I haven't used Early Espresso a ton in my stamping, but we're using it tonight. And we're going to use our owl this time. I made sure with your budget club projects this month that I used a variety of images. I didn't want to use the same one. I wanted to use as much as I could out of this stamp set. Now I've got 2 circles here. You could die cut these from the layering circles. This one is 2 inches in diameter, and this one is 2 1/4. If you have circle punches, that works as well. And I'm going to ink up this owl. See, I've got another halo. I always check to make sure I don't have halos on my stamps. And with these distinctive ones, I always I notice that I just tend to push a little too hard. It's something I need to probably get a bit more confident about. Okay, so I cleaned up that halo. And we're going to stamp our owl here. Okay, isn't the shading just awesome here? My gosh, it's so amazing. Okay, now, do you remember how we used this splotch as the ground for our bear? We're going to use it for clouds by our owl. So what I'm going to do is just stamp about half of it and stamp off. And then I'm going to bring in a little bit next to my owl. It's going to be really subtle. And then I'm going to do the same. Stamped off. Bring that in down there. Like this. See how we're bringing some clouds in behind him? Dana loves the owl. Very realistic. Yeah, it is. I love that. I actually think, I don't know, that bear is pretty cool, but these images in this stamp set are really, really nice. Now, you could layer behind it early espresso. You could do night of navy. You could bring in a number of different colors. I thought that it would be fun to go tone on tone here, so that's what I did. That's the cool thing about Budget Club is you can swap in some of the coordinating cardstock for something else you have, or you can use a different color card base, or I don't cut the layers for you, so you can use a different pattern of DSP if you want and just follow the layout. You get to choose. Okay, so I've got that owl popped up here on those layers. And now we're going to pop this owl up right here in the center of our card base. And another set of dimensionals. Just like this. Okay. I'm going to tuck him in. Right here. Okay. Now on my design card, I'll show you that in a minute. I did a little something different with the sentiment than I'm going to do now. I think I want to bring out the white here of our twine and the stars. And then you can let me know which layout you like better, or which method you like better. But I want to do this way. I heat embossed on my design project, but I realized not everyone has the heat embossing products. So I want to show an alternate for those who don't have that, just in case. Okay, so this is a birthday card. So I'm doing sending birthday wishes. Okay, and I'm going to just trim this. You could fussy cut this, you could trim this, whatever you want to do. And when I decided to switch it up, funny story, I actually just grabbed a strip that I had. I'm going to show you a little tip. When I cut my layers of cardstock, one for my classes, but also just when you cut the insides, you know, you're always getting like a ½ an inch cut off. I save all those strips and I put them in this pretty coffee mug that my mom and dad got me on their cruise to Alaska. But I save them, and then when I need a sentiment strip, I just grab one from this coffee mug that I keep on my desk. So that is a little tip for all of you for some storage. Okay, and so now we're going to layer this sentiment on. I'm just going to glue it right in the center. because we're going to put him just over the bottom of the owl. Judy says putting the owl on tone, then dimensionals give the circle some dimension and a shadow. Yes, it looks really sharp. And it's kind of simplistic, which is what we're going for with the nature lover, in my opinion, right? A little minimalistic. All right, now we're going to use our yellow rhinestones here to bring in the yellow of this paper. And we're going to stamp the inside of our card too. So we're not done. Isn't that fun? Okay, so I have got a layer of basic white. This is my normal inside layer size. And we're going to grab this bear again. I shouldn't have put him away. I forgot I needed him for this card. And our early espresso. And I'm going to ink him up. I don't need him entirely inked up, but of course I went a little too hard again over the edge, so clean that up. Okay, and we're just going to stamp this bear, kind of coming in from the outside edge of the card, just like this, just a little bit on there. And this will be sending birthday wishes to a great guy. And of course, you can swap out the inside if you would like to send this to not a great guy or not a guy at all. Now we're going to grab our Night of Maybe. Okay. And I'm just going to stamp that there. Judy says you're doing great, please. Well, thank you very much. Yes, Robin, the bear would look awesome on the envelope. You are definitely right about that. See, I always get these ideas as you come in from the outside. Doesn't this look like an illustration of like a nature book? So gorgeous. Okay, now we're going to glue this on the inside of our card base. We're going to do something a little cool here. I am going to do it at an angle. I am not doing this exactly centered. I am turning this at an angle. On purpose. Okay. And now I have these 2 strips of the Designer Series paper from the front. This is how I'm going to bring in those patterns to the inside of my card. And I am going to just glue these on here as if they were washi tape. Just like this. And I thought this pattern was perfect. Now, you're going to get even more of this effect if you cut down this inside layer a little bit smaller. So I would say it might have more of an effect even if you did 5 by 3 3/4 instead of 4 by 5 1/4, because then you'll see more of the blue behind it. So here's my design card. You can see that that layer is a little bit smaller and the effect is a little bit better. If you don't like the effect, then you can kind of see, it looks like a scrapbook to me, right? So here's our finished card. Sarah says, now I need this stamp set. Oh my gosh, this was my must-have right away when I saw it. What do you think of card number 2? I'm going for a little patriotic, a little outdoorsy, bringing in those colors. And now here I promised I would show you on my design card, I heat embossed and brought in just a little green. But for those of you in my budget club, if you don't have a heat emboss, all the supplies to do heat embossing, you can see that this looks, I actually kind of like it better with the white. But you can decide. So there's card number 2. So we are using Mr. Owl. I really like the owl. It's kind of majestic. All right, let's clean up and get ready for card number 3. I've got 2 more cards to go. Hopefully you can hang with me as I make them. The early espresso really likes to stick on there. Okay. I don't think I'm using the bear on this next one, so we'll chance it and take it off. All on here. Our birthday. There we go. Okay. So now let's get card number 3 ready. Hey, you know I wanted to use all of the images. So next, you can probably guess, we're going with our friend the wolf. Now, this is going to make me laugh a little bit because I have some nieces and nephew. My niece is 4. And then I have twins, niece and nephew, that are 2. Actually, my niece just turned 5. So she just turned 5 this week. Yesterday, as a matter of fact. And then my niece and nephew, her brother and sister, are 2 years old. So my sister really has her hands full. They love wolves. Like, they love to be startled and surprised, and they just think it's really fun to play wolf. So every time I saw this wolf, I thought of Emma and Sam. So I'm probably going to be thinking of them as I make this card. So here we go. Okay, we've got, again, we're going with the red and blue, I think are nice kind of rustic-y colors. We've got 2 pieces of DSP. They're the same size. And we're going to glue those down. Well, we're going to first glue our blue, our Night of Navy wood grain to our card front. And we're going to do this at an angle like this. Now, I was totally smitten with the idea of using these images as like washi tape strips. Hey Arliss, Happy New Year to you as well. So that's what I did here. And I added another layer right here just for a little bit of a pop of color with our blue. Kind of looks like we've taped it on here. So I've got get to know you questions. I keep forgetting to ask them. Since Arliss said Happy New Year, that reminded me. I would love to know, so here's my next get to know you question. I would love to know, what is are you the kind of person who makes like a resolution for New Year's? I have chosen what they call a power word. I'm curious if any of you have chosen a power word or a resolution for 2022. And if you would like to share it, I would love to hear it. So, have you chosen a resolution and or power word? And what is it, if you're willing to share? Okay, now I'm grabbing our Night of Navy Baker's Twine here. And we are going to wrap that around our Designer Series paper layer. We probably have way too much here, but it is what it is. I'm going to wrap this around and tie it in a bow. Ooh, Shar says resolutions don't last. Yeah, I have had a lot of failed resolutions in the past. Oh, Jean says share with us about your day about yesterday. Okay, so while I'm waiting for you guys to share your word, I will share my story about yesterday. So John and I were supposed to be up north through today, ice fishing, but his back has really been bothering him, and he wanted to rest it and kind of sleep in his own bed, which I don't blame him. So we came home a day early from our New Year's vacation, and it was really, really cold, and we have a diesel truck, and we were pulling a big trailer of our ice fishing stuff with us. And we got a warning message about, I don't know, 10 minutes away from my parents' cabin that we had an error in the DEF system and that our truck would not restart after 200 miles. So we're like, well, let's just plug along. I looked it up online, and the car was not going to shut off. It just wouldn't restart after 200 miles is everything I was hearing. And so we kept going. Well, I kind of wish we had turned around and gone back, because right about when we hit Wausau, Wisconsin, we got all these error messages popping up all over our screen on the truck, and the truck just totally shut down. So it's like 15 below zero in the wind chill, and our truck shut down, and thank goodness we have AAA, so we called AAA, and they told us that we would have a call from someone who was going to tow us in 10 minutes. And 45 minutes later, we still did not have a call. So I called them back, and they called the towing company. By the way, this is a 2 1/4 inch circle that I am stamping on, and this is Early Espresso ink. They called the towing company to get an ETA, and he said, I'll be there in about 90 minutes. Huh. So here we are in our truck. It's like 15 below zero. We had blankets and stuff in there. John ended up going into the back with our ice fishing stuff, and he grabbed our heater from our ice shack, which is a propane heater. So of course we had to be very careful to make sure that we were well ventilated when we used it so that we didn't get carbon monoxide poisoning. And we just turned it on a little bit to heat up the vehicle, and I think it was about, I don't know, 12:30 or 12:45, the towing guy came. Of course, there was hardly any room in the truck, and so John and I are like sharing a seat, and we're not exactly small people, so that was interesting. And we got to our place, and then we just had to wait for his dad to come pick us up. I think we got home about 5:30 last night, and we left at about 9:30 in the morning from the cabin. So it was quite a long evening. When we were coming home early, I had thought, well, maybe I'll cancel my vacation day for tomorrow since we didn't stay. But after the day yesterday, I needed the vacation day today. So now our truck is in the shop in Wausau, and here we are in New Holstein, Wisconsin. I mean, we have two other vehicles because we have a car that John usually takes to work to save on gas mileage. And we have a truck that we use for our truck camper. So we have vehicles to use, just not the one that I usually drive. Oh my gosh. So it was an interesting day. Let's just say that. Okay, so I stamped sending birthday wishes on a scrap of Poppy Parade here. And now I'm just going to come in and kind of trim around that. You can fussy cut this if you like. Oh, shoot. I'm going to try and make it a nice thin sentiment here. There we go. I just trimmed off a little bit with my trimmer. Yeah, Jean, that's what's funny. Thank goodness we had cell phone coverage. I agree. What's funny is when you call AAA, they want you to use their online system. And I had just enough juice to make phone calls and texts, but not enough for internet coverage. I mean, and literally a half a mile up the road, we had plenty for internet coverage. So that was just kind of a pain in the butt. But we are safe, and our dogs are fine and safe, and everyone is home safe and warm. And so that's really what matters, right? We made it through, and we really did have a great weekend other than that. So it was just one of those things. Okay, so we're just putting our sentiment on there. What do you think of this one so far? Yeah, Betty, I hope it's not an expensive fix either. It's actually possible that our DEF fluid just gelled up because it was so darn cold. It's just one of those things. The additives in that fluid just isn't that great. And so when it's cold like that, that can happen. So we kind of learned our lesson the hard way, not to take that truck when it's really cold, the whole stuff. All right. So we've got our wolf here up on dimensionals and our tag. Of course, we are going to do our inside. And I'm just going to, I actually think it would be fun to do something a little different. I know a wolf is not supposed to be blue, but it would be kind of fun to just bring in a very light blue wolf, I think, like that. So I stamped off to get a little lighter image on that Night of Navy, a lighter ink tone. Okay, now we're going to glue this to the inside. I've got one more card after this. I know I'm keeping you all probably longer than I usually do. For my budget club, I always try to do 4 cards if I can, so you have lots of ideas with your products. And if you want to get in on January's club, you've got until the 15th. It's only $38 a month. It's like a product share that comes every month. Isn't that pretty? I like it with that blue. Wow. So there is card number 3. What color cardstock is the tag? It is Poppy Parade, Betty. Poppy Parade. And that is the red that's in this designer series paper. I'm just going to trim these a little bit more. There we go. And I stamped in Night of Navy, and then the wolf is stamped in Early Espresso. Then on the inside, he stamped in Night of Navy, but stamped off once to get a lighter tone. So there's card number 3. Here's my design card. I fussy cut around the words. I actually think I like it better with a plain rectangular tag. And then on the inside, I stamped him in Early Espresso. So you can kind of see just an idea what one you like better. I think I like the blue better on the inside myself. Which one do you like better? The blue wolf or the espresso wolf? Okay, we've got one more card. Let me clean this up here a little bit. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa's coming in late. You won a prize, Lisa. I'm glad that you were able to watch. You won the viewing or commenting prize. Okay. So, our last card of the night. And then you can all get to watching The Bachelor, because I know that starts tonight. Yeah, I like the blue too. All right. So we got another Sahara Sand card base. Okay. And then this is a scrap I'll need. Yep, I want to make sure I grab the right one. And we're doing another tone on tone. And then we have got some of our patterns. I've been dying to use this pinstripe pattern. And of course, my favorite green and our yellow stars that we've been using. So we're going to do some layering here. All right, now I'm just going to bring in my stars. There we go. And then we're going to grab our pinstripes. And that one spans all the way from the top to the bottom of this layer. So I'm doing my best to make sure I get it centered. And then this layer is a rectangle and I want it wider than tall. So we're going to glue that down. I saw a lot of great resolutions. My power word, I don't know if I shared it with you guys. My power word for 2022 is intentional. So I really want to be intentional about the things I do, about where I'm spending my time, about making sure that I am taking care of myself and my family, and just doing my best to drive some purpose behind everything I'm doing. All right, now we've got our evening evergreen, and we're going to wrap this around. And tied in a bow. Gotta bring in our ribbon texture always, right? Ooh, I cut this shorter than I usually do. Hopefully I will able to do this. Okay, so I'm going to turning this way, but this is not actually the direction the card is going to go. But I noticed that I like to turn. Hi, Margaret. Welcome. There. When I turn the card sideways, as I'm tying that bow, it will make the bow run north and south like this, which is what I want. Just tighten those ends a little bit. Okay, and then I can cut this off. And then trim this off as well. All right. So now I've got this scrap of Sahara sand, and we're going to go for our bear again because I needed a nice big focal image on our card. Kathy, hi from Chile, Florida. Okay, Kathy, I need to know, how cold is it in Florida? Because we were like, I think this morning we had a wind chill here of like 7 below 0. And I was just telling everyone that yesterday John and I were stuck on the side of the road in 15 below 0. Not to make you feel bad, because I know that when Florida gets cold, it can get cold. Last year around spring break time, John and I were in Florida and I needed a sweater because it was chilly. All right, I'm going to fussy cut around our bear, and he's super easy to fussy cut. So don't be intimidated. He's super easy. There aren't a lot of detailed nooks and crannies we got to get into. About the hardest part is going to be around his little ears, but that's not too bad. And then I would say maybe the dip from his eye to his nose. Once you get past that area, you are golden. "53 right now," Kathy says, and yesterday it was 85. Wow, that's a big temperature swing. Did anyone do anything fun for New Year's Eve? I think you all saw the photo I posted of me and John. We went out to dinner with my parents, and I had a prime rib and lobster dinner in Wisconsin. We love our prime rib here. It's like a tradition to go to supper clubs, especially on Saturday nights. It's like the big special around here is prime rib. So delicious. There we go. So we've got our bear fussy cut. And then I'm going to grab my tailored tag punch and my, where is it? Here we go. The sentiment is for all the great things you do. And I'm going to do that in Evening Evergreen and kind of pull forward that color onto our sentiment. Using the same scrap that I cut my bear out of. And I'm just going to cut my tag here. Now we could really do the same thing. This is kind of a last minute addition here. I'm going to do the same thing I did with our note of thanks on our first card and grab that little wildflower image here and just kind of bring that in to the background of our sentiment and give it a little bit of texture. We ate something good at home, but I have bronchitis. Oh, yeah, no going out. Hubby's a homebody. We usually are homebodies too. We were home early, that's for sure. Ooh, Lisa, you had prime rib on Christmas. We've had that on Christmas too. All right. Okay, so now we are going to pop up our bear on dimensionals. And we really don't want them to go anywhere. So I'm going to grab one of these little mini ones and put him back here. And his little paws. All right. Guess I really dimensionaled him up, right? You know, I should pull all of you one of these days for what get to know you questions you would like me to ask to the group, or if there's anything you would like to know about me. And then I will pose that same question to the group. All right. And now we are going to put our tag over the top of our bear, but we're going to pop this side up on dimensionals because he's on dimensionals, but half of this is just going to be glued right to our bear. So I'm putting adhesive directly on half and a dimensional on the other half. Betty stayed home New Year's Eve. We really were home early, and I think John and I were in bed by like 9 o'clock. I was really tired. Okay, so there's our tag over our bear, and then we need to pop our, whenever I do tone on tone, I really like to pop that extra layer up on that card front layer on dimensionals just to make it pop a little bit. And I personally love a tone on tone look. I know it's not everyone's style, but it is for me. Okay. So here we go. Whoops, 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 whoops. Full close for comfort there. Okay, so there's that layer. I got a piece of basic white for the inside, but let's just embellish this and then we will wrap it up. So I'm going to do some of my green rhinestones on here to bring out that green. And there is card number 4. Betty, our fishing was good the day we did it. Thank you for asking. We caught a couple of really, really nice bluegills and some perch. It was fun. We tried a new lake, and so it's always exciting when you try a new lake. We have one of those underwater cameras, and the lake was pretty clear, so we could see the fish down in the water, and that I thought was like the coolest thing. That was really neat. All right, so let me move my stuff out of the way here. Okay, card number 4. Bonnie loves the last card. Kathy loves the bear. It's pretty awesome. Thank you, Bonnie. I love that card too. We've got our owl. We've got our other bear. And our wolf. So there we have got some great cards for the nature lover or the man in our life. We didn't catch any Northern Betty, but we definitely saw some on camera. Yes, Lisa, when you pop tone on tone, it does. It is that little extra shadow that helps. Absolutely. So, if you are interested in joining my budget club, $38 a month, after you're in it for 6 months, you're going to get a goodie bag from me that has like over $30 of free product in it. Plus you'll get the like a product share with some of the DSP, the twine, the rhinestones, a PDF tutorial for all of these cards. You can reference this video to make them. And quick before I go, I don't want to forget to remind you, I also have my Sweet Conversations class to go going on right now. A lot of you took advantage of my early ordering special. I'm ordering the products tomorrow because I think they're going to sell out. And I'm going to order however many I order. And so when the class, when all my products are done, and I have the number of people that placed orders totally fulfilled, I'm ordering a limited number. So basically, when they're gone, they're gone. And because I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to get my hands on them much after the go live tomorrow. So if you want that Sweet Conversations class to go, make sure you sign up tonight. Don't wait, because I may not have a kit for you. You can sign up by going to my website, www.rosegrunwald.com, and then across the top, you'll see all my classes to go in a menu. If you're on your phone, there's a menu with 3 lines kind of on the side. So if that's something you're interested in, don't wait. Make sure that you get that pre-order in right away. All right. That's all I have for you. Holy cow, was I thirsty. I did a lot of talking tonight. I will be here next Monday again, same time, same place, 7 o'clock Central Standard on Facebook and YouTube. I hope you all have a really great rest of your week, and I'll be stamping with you again soon. All right, I will talk to you later. Bye.